The Boston Red Sox are being forced into an impossible decision going forward. After Walker Buehler's most recent performance on the mound and being underwhelming once again, they may be forced to go out and call up one of the youngsters down in AAA. I'll break down what to do with Walker Buehler going forward for the Red Sox, as well as the options down in AAA to replace him. We'll break down all of that on this episode of Red Sox Digest, but first, please do remember to subscribe to the channel if you're a part of the percentage watching this video not currently subscribed. We do appreciate the love and support, so thank you guys. But now let's get to it and break down what to do with Walker Buehler. Now, we've had this conversation ad nauseum for the last month and some change because of the lack of production from Walker Buehler in the starting rotation. Now, last night he pitched once again for this Boston Red Sox organization, and he once again was underwhelming. He finished 4 innings. He gave up 4 hits, 2 runs, both of them earned, 4 Ks and 4 walks. He threw 55% strikes on 75 pitches. Overall, not the greatest performance from Buehler. The leash was extremely short going into this game, and you noticed it. Before he even exited the 4th inning, there was someone already warming up to replace him before he was able to get into the 5th and then give up a lead-up double, a 4-pitch walk, where then he was immediately relieved for because Gunnar Henderson was coming to the plate and Alex Cora had seen enough. Once again, Walker Buehler, very, very underwhelming. And I hate saying this because I was extremely optimistic. I was extremely hopeful coming into this MLB season about Walker Buehler specifically. Did I think he was going to be the number 2 or number 3 guy in the starting rotation? Not necessarily. But a number 4, number 5, or even a 6 guy in the starting rotation that could possibly just give this Red Sox team a few quality starts throughout the entirety of the season, give them good quality innings, maybe even 4, 5, 6 at the absolute best. Again, not looking for him to be a Cy Young candidate or someone that's going to go out there and throw 7+ innings every single time he touches the bump. But go out there, collect some meaningful innings. Don't leave the bullpen in very stressful situations in just the 4th or 5th inning like you did last night against the Orioles. And that is just not what we've seen from Buehler. Now, going forward, as playoff baseball in October gets closer and closer by the day, what are the Red Sox going to do? Are they going to leave him in the starting rotation? Are they going to move him to the bullpen? Are they going to flat out cut him? These are all options for the Red Sox in dealing with Walker Buehler. Now, my opinion, will they leave him in the starting rotation? No. I think they will go down to AAA, pull up one of the 3 names that they have available to be a starting guy in the rotation. Now, I will say one of them is not as likely as the other 2 because of age and inexperience, and that is my personal favorite in Peyton Tolley, the big left-hander who's only 22 years of age or 21 years of age, who has been absolutely filthy down in AA as well as now through 2 starts in AAA. I don't believe he will get called up, unfortunately, even though he has given you every reason to believe he deserves it. He does not have the experience on the major league level like Cooper or like Kyle Harrison, who both are other options for this Boston Red Sox organization. But first, let's break down this article post-game from the Orioles' loss for the Red Sox, and specifically the quotes we got from Walker Buehler in that performance. I will say, Walker Buehler will be the first guy to tell you he is not playing well. It doesn't matter if it's game 1, game 50, game 82, game 162. It does not matter. Buehler will be the first guy to say, I'm not playing that well, and it's not very good around here. And we've seen that a few times this year. But we've also seen where he says, like, I'm starting to figure things out. And last night, we got brutally honest quotes about how he was playing and his overall opinions on his performances up to this point. And again, you have to tip your cap and respect Buehler because not only is he a veteran, but he'll eat it. He understands. He will fully admit it, and he will make it be known that it's not just something that's being talked about in the clubhouse or on social media or throughout MLB Network or whatever it may be. He will acknowledge it. Hey, I'm not playing that well, and that's exactly what we got last night. Quote, what do you think, said Buehler when asked for an assessment of his season through 22 starts. Quote, to be completely frank with you, we can have these questions as much as we want, and I can tell you how hard I'm working and how hard we are all working and all that expletive. At the end of the day, it's not going so good. And that's the end of the quote, one of the many quotes that we're going to cite on this channel from Walker Buehler about his performance last night and really throughout the entirety of the season up to this point through 22 starts for him. Now he goes on to say, where, quote, at some point, the leash I've been given has been earned, Buehler said, after the 4-3 Red Sox loss. Quote, I think they did the right thing in coming to get me before the Henderson at bat. Our bullpen has been great. For me personally, I think everything went according to plan until the fifth. You go double, 4-pitch walk. The way I've been throwing it, it all kind of makes sense. And again, the end of the quote from Walker Buehler discussing when he was relieved for last night, going into that Gunnar Henderson at bat in the fifth inning before he recorded an out with runners on first and second base. Now, it did result in runs, and Walker Buehler did get credited for those runs because he left those guys on base when he was relieved for. So, yes, he didn't give up those runs. He put the bullpen in a position where they really just not giving up any runs was a very tough. They were in a very tough situation going into that game, and they ended up getting out of it. The Red Sox were able to make it a little bit competitive going into throughout the rest of that game. It just never resulted. They left bases loaded with no outs. How they do that, I have no idea. But then you get to extra innings. You start with a runner on second, no outs, and they failed to score him as well. So the offense doesn't get a full pass here. But Walker Buehler, we've had this conversation too many times. Last night you did go on the mound, so we can't fully just ignore it. And now, having the conversation on this channel and getting this confirmation from Chris Colito is something that we just have to acknowledge, as he would go on to say, with 35 games left to play, the Red Sox know it's crunch time, and Cora's handling of Buehler on Tuesday night might be an indicator of larger decisions to come. In recent weeks, according to sources with knowledge of the discussions, the Red Sox have been reassessing Buehler's rotation spot and talking about the possibility of inserting someone like Kyle Harrison, who pitched on Tuesday, which we'll break down in just a second, that full appearance for him and down in AAA, or Cooper Criswell from AAA. Further struggles could lead to Buehler being shifted to the bullpen or cut from the team as the calendar turns from August to September. And Chris Colito's 100% right. Once we get to September, all hell is going to break loose. It already feels like it has if you were looking at the AL standings. The Yankees have Judge back. They went back to back to back. They hit 9 total home runs in that game. And it feels like the light switch was flicked on for that offense, and all hell's going to break loose for them. The Seattle Mariners can't win a baseball game right now despite the collection of talent they have, as they've run into buzzsaw after buzzsaw after buzzsaw. And also, they're not playing great baseball right now. But then there's the Red Sox, who are, have won or lost 8 of their last 12 games that they've played. They're starting to slump severely. The pitching has not been abysmal, but it hasn't been great, and the offense has simply not been up to the par that we've been looking to really hope to see throughout the entirety of the season. So what has to give? Well, if you go out and get one of these young guys from AAA, like a Kyle Harrison, like a Peyton Tolley, or a Cooper Criswell, you could see a spark given to this Red Sox team that we haven't seen in a while. Something that we could definitely need going forward in it, and I mean soon. Because if the Red Sox don't get hot, they could fall out of the first wild card spot, or out of the second wild card spot now that the Yankees have won a game and the Red Sox have now lost a game. It's going to get very dicey. It's going to get very interesting, and it's going to go game after game after game. And the Red Sox need to find that spark to really get this offense as well as this team overall going, and calling up one of the youngsters down or up from AAA could be the spark they all need. And again, another quote from starting pitcher Walker Buehler. This one from Christopher Smith on Twitter. Red Sox starter Walker Buehler on walking 4 batters. Quote, it's fucking embarrassing. I think the last time I walked that many in a season, I threw 207 innings. So yeah, it sucks. Right now, Walker has thrown a career high, I believe, 60 walks up to this point in the year, and he is only at 110 innings pitched. Overall, not the greatest season for Walker Buehler. It's really unfortunate. But go down. Let them do this. I don't want them to cut him yet. I don't think that's necessary. Put him in a bullpen situation like we saw the Dodgers do last year in the Fall Classic. Yes, I know it was the Fall Classic. Situations change. Moments are bigger. They have to go to established arms. I understand that is a different situation. But for the Red Sox, these are high leverage situations. They have to get these wins, as many as they possibly can, to get to October, to then turn it into small ball and make it one pitch at a time. Buehler being cut from this team, I think, will do more bad than if you put him in the bullpen and put him in low leverage situations. I think the bullpen is the best option going forward. Allow them to go call up another starter and give the keys to one of the young guys down in AAA, and just see how things go. See if it's a spark that this Red Sox team really needs, and see if they allow it. Kyle Harrison, that Tuesday performance that was referenced by Chris Colito in that article that we mentioned earlier, again, tag down below if you'd like to read it in its entirety. He went 5 innings. He gave up He gave up 7 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 Ks, 1 walk, 1 balk. He created 6 whiffs. Overall, not his greatest performance, but again, he's been relatively consistent and very good down in AAA. One of the many options the Boston Red Sox do have down in AAA in the sense of starting pitching. I can't wait to see which direction they go. Again, Peyton Toley seems like the most unlikely option, even though he is just filthy and has the mechanics and physique and just body type to be dominant in the major leagues. I just think it's a little too early for him, and they would rather go with someone who does have MLB experience in Harrison or possibly Chris Well. I can't wait to see how it all plays out. Let me know down below your overall thoughts and opinions on this entire situation with Buehler and the Red Sox, and we'll see you guys on the next episode of Red Sox Digest.